And right now, I'm going to introduce Miss Tessie Morelli and Irina Konova. They're the girls behind Lisbon Whispers, a photographic and storytelling project about people living in Lisbon and about the secrets they share and about their lives and about their homes. So without further ado, I'm just going to pass my screen, share my screen with Irina and Tessie. Girls, thank you so much for being here. And there you go.
Thank you. Is the screen okay?
Yes.
Can you guys see?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I can see it perfectly as well. Thank you, Tessie. So hello, we're Irina and Tessie, and thank you so much, Rafaela and the Creative Mornings Lisbon team for having us here. It's a very special place for us because we met here with Tessie in 2018 while volunteering as photographers at the Creative Mornings events. And today we're going to talk about home, but through the lines of a project that we've been developing the past years that is called Lisbon Whispers. And today our talk will be a bit interactive. And as an icebreaker, we have a nice question there in the chat. I already inserted it in the chat. I think you can see it. So the question is, what does home mean to you? And you go to the link and you just put there a word or a phrase, because we're really curious to know what does home mean to you. And with your help, we want to understand what is home. Okay.
Okay. So as Rafa said before, today's something unique happened. We knew for a long time that we would have been talking about home at Creative Mornings, and it happens for us to be in our homes, back home, in Russia and Italy, as in 1990. And yeah, we're going to introduce ourselves and the project in a Lisbon Whisper sort of way, which like probably most of you as friends of us know already what we're talking about, and others maybe will know more and be interested in what we're actually doing. So yeah, thank you very much for being here. And the program doesn't really work this morning.
Oh, good.
I don't know why.
So let me start with myself. I'm Irina, and I'm a very, very lucky person because I've been studying and working in one of the most exciting areas, psychology and art. And so I'm a psychologist, and photography is my big passion. And on the edge of these areas, amazing things are born. Really beautiful and powerful. Yeah, but regarding Lisbon, so how I found myself in Lisbon, I was born in Moscow, but I traveled a lot, and I used to live in New York and London. And I arrived in Lisbon as a tourist first time about 10 years ago, and I fell in love immediately. So for me, Lisbon turned out to be incredibly charismatic. It's a character. So it was love at the first sight. And so for now, I consider Lisbon my home. And what is home for me? It's a place where I become myself. And in Lisbon, I changed a lot. I started to smile a lot, always positive mood, no bad mood at all, no stress. And I really like these changes in myself, in my personality. And I want to thank Lisbon for all this. Tessie, tell us about
thank
yourself.
you, Lisbon, for that. We didn't want to see the previous version. No, I'm gonna start instead with my first memory of Lisbon, and goes back to 2012. And with a friend, we took the car in Italy, and we decided let's go all the way to Lisbon. We were fascinated about like the surfing scene and everything. So we take the car, we go around France and Spain for a month, and finally we arrived to Lisbon. And the next morning we wake up, we go check the car, and the car was broken, had all the windows smashed. And one very important thing at the time, when Google Maps wasn't on the phones yet, was missing, and there was a TomTom. So we ran to the only place that is still there in this Fnac, buy a new TomTom, and go all the way back to Italy, non-stop, like almost 24 hours drive. And we're like, we're never gonna go back to Lisbon. And then here I am, well, not today, but based in Lisbon for I don't know how long. And yeah, I struggle saying forever to everything. So also Lisbon is not forever answer. But yeah, it's home for now, and it's been beautiful every moment, with very tough times as well. But that's another story. And yeah, so Lisbon for Whispers for us is essentially being an opportunity to also get to know each other. We got to be closer and become friends. So it's also a project about friendship in a way.
Exactly.
I have nothing to do with this. Second one, became part of the Roman Empire. Please becomes known as all these people, and you say a lot of the Christian people, all these different answers of the Roman Empire times. Then after the fall of the Western Empire, the main tribes like the city of Spain, but they pushed it on for all these 700 letters, and more people what is now Morocco. They call what is now Portugal Spain, and they still push the Portuguese part of Al-Andalus. Until in another
Yeah, so well, of course, Lisbon Whispers wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Lisbon and for the Whispers. The past and the future Whispers that have been and will share with us all their amazing stories and over the homes for us with an open heart and the will of knowing more and sharing. So, Erie, why did we do Lisbon Whispers? And it's
Let us see the next slide. So why? So we started Lisbon Whispers because we ourselves felt this need to have a special place to collect stories from the people we meet every day. Very interesting people. We need to put it somewhere. We could not. We wanted to say to the world about these incredible people that we meet, and we wanted also to show the variety of communities who live in the same home, Lisbon. So this photojournal is a way to connect and feel at home. So, and we really believe that Lisbon is at its best only when people get together despite the different background, different culture. So it's kind of a platform for networking, meeting new friends. And of course, for the conversation about Lisbon. So Lisbon is the core of the story, and we really want to connect home by home. It's kind of our mission. So, Tessie, why at home? Why?
at home. That's really almost always the first question after we send the invitation. And so actually a little bit of like who we invite. We invite people that we find fascinating. And it can be our friends already or people that are complete strangers. So when we invite, usually people are super interested, but then there is like, why a home? And there is no clear answer to this. We can give many different answers, but also none. It's just a creative choice, and the home is a special place, as we will see later. And when Rafa invited us, we thought, okay, how can me like Patsy and Irina talk about home? Um, because it's such a so much explored, but also like a mythical place in a way. And so we were like, why don't we actually trigger that conversation that is actually the core of the project? So like we normally don't plan to give answers, but it's a lot about questions. And so we decided to take this opportunity of having everybody at home, as we think most of you are. We're all whispers today, and we're gonna find a few informations from like all the people that've been touching like in like philosophers, psychologists, architects. Everybody has been talking about home. So it's very hard to find like interesting why it's home for me and what is home for me, but it's more interesting as a concept, as an idea. So yeah, let's give these questions. And for example, Irina, what is home for you? What is home? What is home?
Well, for me, it's one thing, but for other people, it's completely different, right? Home is not an easy concept to pin down, right? It's a complex, multidimensional thing. So let us see the results that we got from the poll. And by the way, those who have not participated yet, I already shared one more time the link where you can answer to the question, what does home mean to you? And we're going to share with you results just in a few seconds, because we're really, really interested. For every person, it's a different thing. It's absolutely different. So let me see if you already answered. Or maybe not. Just 1 second. I will share my screen. Okay.
Yeah, it's oh wow.
We have many. You can
Nice.
see. Yes.
Yeah.
We have so many. Look at this. Family, peace, safety, love, comfort. This is the main text, the main words people associate with home, the main meaning, the main perception. But then let's read others, right, Tessie? I think that's super interesting. Be myself.
Well, I can't really see. It's too small for me. You have to read.
Really? Oh God, sorry. It's for everyone. It's very small.
No, it's only for me.
Okay. So be myself and be with my loved ones. Presence of someone who can hold space, relax, safe zone, happy heart place, lifestyle, freedom, comfort, a place I can relax into myself, safe space, contentment, calm, sanctuary, ease, books and pets, of course. I think I know who wrote this, maybe not. The base of love. Okay, thank you so much. That's really incredible. And now we have actually the second question for you also, to understand where is your home, because again, for different people it can be a place where you live now. For other people it's the place where they spend childhood. For some others, a place where their family comes from. So I shared with you another link to participate in the poll. And please share with us your answers. There are some options, but you also can say, I don't know, or you can just write to us in the chat your opinion, or maybe later on we can discuss it. It's very interesting for us. So the place in your heart you consider to be home, where is it? And I already can see that the answers are really different. For many people,
different from the statistics they're here.
Let me see. I think we need just one more second. Yeah, it's different because for most people, for now, it's no. Okay, it changes. I don't want to show you, but anyway, so 50% people say where you live now is my home.
Oh, nice. So listen.
Yes, and 25% said where I was born and raised. 13% said the place I've lived the longest. And no, actually now we have more. So it changes. It's beautifully changing all the time, the statistics that you give the answers to us. We will share all the statistics in Lisbon Whispers Instagram page so you can see, but that's very interesting. But for now, anyway, where you live now is your home. It's 50% people. It's a bit different to the statistics result, but
which is a better, actually. It's a better result, no?
Yes, it's true.
We're talking about Lisbon.
Thank you so much for taking part of this survey. I think we can.
Yes, so home is, as we were saying before, doesn't need an answer. It's just an idea and or like a concept, and we really think it's important to consider it so. And there is no formula, and there is no right and wrong. Life changes. Sometimes a change is planned, sometimes is wanted and wished for so long. Some other time is a total surprise. For example, one day you move to a new city, the next thing you know, you have a cat, and soon after that you move in with your boyfriend. Like, our Rafa said before. And each of these times, a home changes. It changes in design, changes inside yourself, and your relationship with the city also changes. So like now what I wanted to do is like taking a moment to explain a little bit of how our creative decisions came to be related to Lisbon and related also to the stories. And basically, we have two moments. And it's the first one, it's an interview. And this interview is emailed. So the reason why we decided to do it is that we really realized very soon the importance of that part of the conversation. So because as I said before, many times we don't really know the person yet. Is like a way to give that person these questions that are already like a little customized to our interests and reasons to invite that person. But at the same time, we want everyone to have the time to really go through the questions, understand what answers do they want to give, and what questions are really interesting for them, and build this storytelling. And it's really interesting that without this interruption, the stories that come back are really authentic, and almost and there are some secrets also, which we really love. And sometimes we receive just a few notes. Sometimes we received like chapters of books, and that's also amazing because it says something about the personality and how different we are and how every person is unique. Maybe you need sometimes like 3 words to just say everything. And then there is the second part. So we have the interview, we have some points that we want to use in the conversation. But the second part is in the home. And in the home is the very important part where we actually link what's been said to what we're gonna find out during the conversation one-to-one. And actually what's very important for us today is to um, uh, share this, that it's really the first time. So like there is only one rule at Lisbon Whispers, and it's we try to go to the house of the person for Lisbon Whispers if it's the first time we've been there. And we haven't made any exceptions so far. So it's a lot of freedom, but there is one rule. And yeah, so what happens at the end is that automatically, and we don't know why that happens, when we're at home, we have all the answers and the photos perfectly match with those texts. So actually, the connection is very strong automatically. And yeah, talking home is inside you.
Yes, that's the first layer. Home is inside you. And one of our wonderful whispers, Maddie, shared with us how Lisbon had helped her thinking about herself, how Lisbon had given her an opportunity to explore herself, to understand who she is. It's a process of self-discovery and personal growth. And in the words of a poet, Robert Frost, home is the primary connection between you and the rest of the world. So from a psychological point of view, it's really, really important to reflect upon where your home is, because it's a process of gaining a deep understanding of who you are, of yourself, and of your connection with the world at large. So it's a lifetime journey, and it's very beneficial to think where your home is, because it tells a lot about yourself in the present moment of time. Okay, and what's about home? Yes. As physical space, Tessie, is
Yeah.
that correct?
We took the words from Tamara and to understand how home really reacts to expectations, projections, ambitions. The home is a place where we keep memories, we collect, we invite, we rest, we take a break, and it's very textured and layered. And everything has a very deep and unique emotional meaning. So in order to feel home in a space, has to be ours. So it's very important not to deny the importance of our surrounding, and it's very important to take care of it. Doesn't matter if it's a van or a penthouse or anything. That's absolutely not the point. The point is like making that step from like somewhere that is the world, the entire world, and connect with our inside. So by organizing and selecting things, we can really create this very personal world. And for home to really function, it has to be a threshold, a sanctuary, a space to be, and a space to share. So actually, this is again an opportunity for us to uh, share something that's very important for us. And it's that the house doesn't have absolutely to be perfect. Sometimes whispers decide at the end not to be whispers because they don't feel their home is perfect enough. And but Lisbon Whispers is not an interior design magazine, and we definitely don't need like museum-like sort of interiors. We really need stories. We want stories, and we know that those stories are there. So, for instance, I've been changing many houses. I don't know, probably 30, 35, something like that at this point. I've lost the count. But I always bring with me a little oil painting from my grandpa. And that's enough. I put it on the wall. Sometimes not even because I'm not allowed to use nails. Many of you know sometimes when you rent a house, you can't. But it's always there. And that's enough. So again, when we invite you, there is a reason, and we know that there is a story, and that story can be shared through your voice and through the images of your house. Sometimes it's a little corner that is untidy or something is broken, but has the perfect story more than a Van der Rohe chair. Just be authentic, be real. And that's a very good way of feeling at home and also feeling good with yourself.
Yes.
Next layer.
Yes, the third layer is when city or a country is perceived as home. So Guillermo, one of our amazing whisperers, chose to be in Lisbon because he identifies himself with the way of living in Lisbon. So he has many projects, and he can participate in many initiatives that Lisbon offers. But what he really enjoys is to take a beer near the river, for example. And this beautiful routine, it's about feeling of home in the city when you can just relax, feel secure, feel as if you're at home. And me, for example, I live near Jardim de Estrela, and for me there is nothing better than just to go there, sometimes in my home clothes, I don't know, doesn't matter, just to sit there and relax and to feel the city, and I feel really home there. So but Tessie, tell me please, how to feel home in a new city?
Okay, well, as we said so much already, maybe too much, and there is no real science behind it. Lisbon Whispers, for example, is our own way, is the way that we use to start that conversation that we think is so important. So find your way. And as we're going to see later, talking about Lisbon Whispers passport, like there is nothing better than link what you like, your passion, and the city, and create your own unique project here. And if you want, you can most welcome be a whisper. So yeah, of course the invite is out there for all of you. But let's move to actually what the whisper suggests. So as we said, like we don't want to talk too much about ourselves, but more about the whispers. And Francisco, for example, is from Lisbon, but he's been traveling a lot for many years. And recently he found the need to actually reconnect with the city. And he started exploring it. like walking in the most simple way you can think of, walking in the city, stopping at some corners, and taking home. Sometimes he's a sort of like a artist collector, taking home elements that make him feel great. And he's been doing that in many other cities, but here is a home, and now he's starting to feel a home again, and it's amazing. And then Alice, she's from Brazil. She loves music. She's the most enthusiastic and friendly person you can think of. And for her, a way to feel at home is drumming. So like she met a few groups of traditional Brazilian drumming, and she plays around the city. And she's also super connected, like with multiple different associations. For example, one of the things she mentions was Fruta Feia, as the back there we can see there. Or Peter and Olga, which is one of the stories that we've liked, everybody liked a lot. And Peter is is one of those people with this aesthetic that goes over levels of normality, and he builds his house in a way that is considered like a canvas, a blank canvas to constantly redesign and retransform. But how he really finds the pieces for this puzzle where is the city. So he's basically scouting beautiful projects, meeting new people every day. And from there, it brings home the beautiful world where then he feels comfortable to invite his friends. From those walks around the city that we also do, we started Lisbon Whispers box, right?
Yes, yes. So this initiative appeared during the lockdown last holiday season, when we decided to help local businesses and local stores and cafes, and we decided to bring the best of the city that we know, that our whispers know and tell us, into the houses of people. And we prepared these boxes, and it was an excuse for us to go to the streets and to stay closer to these amazing projects that we encounter every day. And if you've seen us last December running in the streets with the boxes, it was us. So, and from there, we started a twin project, which is called Lisbon Whispers Passports. It's our new Instagram page, where we map those interesting, exciting projects and ateliers. And if Lisbon Whispers, as a photojournal, is about exploring the city behind Lisbon closed doors, Lisbon Whispers Passport focuses on the stories from the streets, ateliers, stores, and some secret spots. But it's the same. It's the interview and photography, and it's a work in progress, a map of small businesses and creative location of Lisbon. And for example, how do we find these places? For example, Dede and his cafe was mentioned in Lisbon Whispers photojournal, I don't know, 2-3 times already by other people. So, and we of course decided to go there to meet this person, to feel what is there, what is there and so special in this cafe, because people used to say that they like to spend time there, that they feel at home there. And when we met there, of course, we liked his story and his cafe a lot. And it is kind of, he connects with the city in this way. So he opened this cafe where he feels home, and he makes this home atmosphere for other people. And then we also met Vero, for example, and her project is about connecting with the streets of Lisbon by the means of street art. And she can read this street art, and she teaches other people how to read it, because it's, you know, it's like a sacred language. You don't understand what is written there, but she knows. And it's so again, for Vero, it's her way to connect with the city, to show the variety of things happening in the city. And for both Vero, Dede, and all our other whispers, they found their own way to feel Lisbon as their homes, and create special atmosphere in their places or in their tours. And Tessie, do you think we should organize events to meet all these people?
Well, probably we should. So actually, this is the last next stage for Lisbon Whispers. We decided to put together all those those synergies that we find, and around the topic, create those walks to give an opportunity to really get together as soon as it will be possible. And I mean, we wanted to do it for already like 6 months, and then there is always, of course, something stopping us. But it's gonna happen, and we will send you all the details. So yeah, let's get together, um, and uh, and yeah, if you wanna stay in touch, here are our links. Okay, what else?
Yes. Thank you
I
so
don't
much
know,
for
many
listening to us. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know if Becky has some questions.
Thank you so much, so much. And you're so punctual. I told you 9:40 and it's 40 sharp, guys. Okay, first of all, I have to say that this is a very special theme for me. Some of you know why, and so I'll just fill you in. In 2014, I started a personal project called Home is Where I Am. This sentence, this expression is not mine, is actually from Kim Cattrall, Samantha from Sex and the City. I actually saw live a talk with her live in Madrid a few years back, where a guy from New York Times actually interviewed her in front of a live audience. And I don't know if you know, but she's from Liverpool. Even though she was raised in Canada, and she lived back then in New York. And the journalist asked her, "Where is home to you?" And she said, "Home is wherever I am." And she said, "Whenever I'm in Liverpool, I feel like a Brit. When I'm in Canada, I feel like a Canadian. And when I'm a New Yorker, I'm a fucking New Yorker." And she adopts every city's accent and almost personality, because
Oh, that's
the
cool.
3 different places have very specific ways of being. And I thought that was amazing. I had never heard anything more inspiring, because I'm from the Algarve, and I don't feel much that I belong there. And I've been living in a lot of places. And so in 2014, I started this project called Home is Where I Am, where I challenged myself to live in 3 months in different cities. I started in Rio de Janeiro. Actually, I doubled the time, so I spent 6 months there. And then New York, and then life happened, and then I stopped the project. So the thing is, I wanted to write in every city that I was living in. I wanted to write and identify what was the specific moment that I felt at home. So when was it? Why was it? Who I was surrounded with? Was it like a feelings thing? Was it a context thing? So in Rio, this happened very quickly. After 2 or 3 weeks, I felt at home, and I remember specifically what it was. It involved music and involved the beach. But in New York, it never happened. And I think New York is a home for a lot of great thinkers and brilliant minds. But I don't think that anyone is from there. So I think it's like a place where everybody goes, but nobody stays. So I didn't feel at home there. But I do feel at home at Lisbon. And I came here in 2009, and I didn't know anyone. So I didn't have any roots or any family. And so yeah, I started a life from scratch at almost 30 years old. And I do believe, unlike what you said, and I think it's beautiful what you said, that there are no magic formulas, right? There are no magic formulas for you to feel at home, and it changes over time. So back then I identified for things that made you feel for almost like requisites you needed to feel at home. One of them is to have a comfortable place to live in, and of course this changes from person to person. It can be a mansion, or also can be a tent. So for me, it begins with the comfortable place to live in, a hobby, because a hobby puts you in contact with the the network of the city, right? It makes you belong. A social life, because it's important to have drinks with someone sometimes. So you cannot live, we're not an island, so we cannot live lives by ourselves. And the other one is a work-home routine. Of course, this also changes because if you work at home, it's hard to have this, but I think you need a work that puts you out of the house. And so you can go to co-working spaces, you can do photography sessions in another place. So I think it's these 4 elements were very important for me to feel at home in a new place. But for example, I was talking to Tessie and Irina on Monday when we were discussing this presentation, and I told her actually these 4 elements changed for me because I got a pet last year. And now that I moved house, the pet actually moved before than I did. And when I was back in my home without my pet, it didn't feel home anymore. So for now, I would add the pet thing. Pet is a very important thing. So I imagine that people have babies even more, right? So maybe home is where your babies are or where your family is. Anyway, I just wanted to just put it out there because this is, there's so much food for thought. And thank you so much, girls, for raising this subject and discussing. And
We have a question, Rafa.
I know.
Unbelievable.
So please, if anyone has questions, please.
Edie, so what is your favorite room corner of the house?
Okay, sorry, I have to see the question. I was trying to.
Tessie and Irina, what is your favorite room corner of the house?
Wow, such a great question. Depending what house. Now I'm staying in my parents' house, right? But in Lisbon, for sure, it's the view. It's the window because I can see Basilica de Estrela from the window. For me, it's very inspiring. Basilica, as if it's just popping up into me.
Yeah, it's true. It's so amazing.
Yeah, so everything that is near the window is very good for me.
And well, it's funny that Francesca, which is a very good friend of mine, asked me. She knows exactly what I'm gonna say. And it's the garden. Well, garden, whatever it is, it's just like a couple of square meters with a lot of plants outside. And I managed to grow tomatoes. So this year I was super excited.
Oh.
Someone else is eating them, but that's fine. And how has doing Lisbon Whispers changed your view of the city? Has it helped you discover new places or new perspectives? From Becky. You want to go first?
Well, we met so many people already that it's opening always something, a new collaboration, a new friendship, a new place where you feel home, for example, like with Café de Des or something else. So how we changed, we just, for me, from my perspective, we just we learned so many, we met so many people that it's like a networking. So for me, I know where to go. If I want to organize an event, to rent a space or something, to collaborate, now I know where to go.
Yeah. In my case, well, it's already been said, but so I actually had a similar project before Lisbon Whispers, which is the reason why I met Irina. And I really started it because I'm very curious, but I never know how to break the ice. So the fact of having a project and invite people to something really facilitates the first interaction. So it's really like an opportunity for me to really go to a person and say, hey, do you want to be part of this? And then get to know each other. And actually once, and I don't know if I said it before, but I even had a job in London. I did this, and then that brought me to have one of my first jobs over there. So like, and I met amazing people with some, I'm still in touch, and we became very good friends. So it's really like a way to feel at home through doing what I love, which is photography. And Mariana is also messaging, which is actually, she's been the first.
The whisper.
Exactly. Yeah. When we had the idea of doing Lisbon Whispers, she was the first one I was already in touch with. And yeah, actually, it would be lovely to to see you again. And this is also why we want to do these Lisbon Whispers walks, to get together with also like the whispers, like keep the conversation going. Like what we've always thought is like we don't want it to be just a spot on thing. It has to be just like the beginning of a bigger conversation. Is there a person who made you feel most at home whilst you took photos of them in this project?
Most of them, because I want to say that most people that invite us home, they prepare tea, coffee, cookies, minimum.
Sometimes dinner.
And Tess even has an experience of dinner. It's incredible. So we really feel home.
Yeah, it's I can't make at least like there's every experience is really beautiful.
So for you, feel at home is when there's food involved, right?
Yes, we like to eat. No. But the thing is that you sit at the table, right, with the person. You drink a coffee, tea. It's
or cooking.
It's a home atmosphere. For me, it's a home atmosphere for sure. I associate home with having meals together. It's some kind of sharing food. You know, people trust you.
Yeah, exactly. So what part do you feel our physical bodies as well as heart and mind play in a sense of home? This is your Siri.
Well, not so easy to answer, but the question is so beautiful. Well, our body should feel good and comfortable in our apartment, in our home, right? A sense of home, not in our physical home. Well, what I want to say is that we should
maybe I can say something.
Say something. I will think.
So actually in architecture, like one of the most important thing is not the aesthetic side, but is the functionality. So the body is our way to actually communicate with the space. And one very important thing that I really love, for example, when I approach an interior design project, is to really understand habits, needs, connection, and also those can change, but there is a base. Like every person has a world of habits, and when you approach to your home from that angle, it's really important to understand the direction, the directives, where the light comes through. What do you feel like? What colors you love? And for example, there is something that I never liked about my first studies, and then I researched more in the sense of color. Like we've in the 80s, 90s, there was this myth of like not all colors work in the house, and you have to keep it like into like the beigey, grayish. First of all, the best color is white. White because it gives you a lot of space for being creative, and there is always a moment in which you will add something extra. But then if you really love a color, don't put any limitations on you. Just find the right tone of that color. You love red, find the right red. You like red and purple, seems absurd. They can work together. I've done a project with those two colors. So it's about like balancing, understanding yourself, testing first. Like don't put red and purple on the biggest wall. Just try like putting yourself every day, understand what kind of tones like work with the light. Like the place where you're in Lisbon, colors will be completely different from yourself in a house in Canada, in London, in Paris. Light changes, the surroundings changes. You have to adapt to that. So I think this is what I think.
Yeah, I agree with you. I just want to add that really from the psychological point of view, you should surround yourself with things that you like. And like Tessie already said, the color, you should like this color, you should feel comfortable in this color. And the same, music is very important. If you need some music when you enter your home, you know, it's very important. Again, selection of music and I don't know, and for me I think it's very important also to have a good view, but it depends.
And not always it's up to you.
It's not always possible, yes, but to at least to surround yourself with things that you really like.
Yeah. And keep it minimal. Actually, maybe that's also
Yes.
said by me sounds weird, but it's better an uncluttered house than an overcluttered one. It's just because the body reacts better.
Yeah. I just wanted to share the links in the chat about our
planning.
Yes. So for those who are not familiar, please welcome. We are very, very happy for every person that we have in our page.
Absolutely.
It's a slow project. It's ambitious, but it's in a slow mode. So we are very happy if we're grateful for following us, for listening to our stories.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Oh, there is one more question about
more. Oh, wow.
the Lisbon walks. So we'd like to start them in September, and it will be always a mix of different people that already participated in Lisbon Whispers passport or Lisbon Whispers photojournal. So it will be a combination of several people. It will be not just a tour, a street art tour, for example, but it will be a street art tour with a twist, with something special. Tessie, can you add something?
It's not it's not like the experience will go through like these dots that we're trying to put together. So for us, minimalism, but also the opposite. In this case, it's gonna be about like putting stories together and finding these links in the city. So if a person is in this case like Vero, she's passionate about street art, but street art means a lot of different things. There are many aspects that you can touch around, like the top is the art itself, but it's also the culture around it. And so the story will be more of like a round story around this topic, not just visiting and go home. And the point is to be together, especially now. We're gonna need it more than ever.
Yes. Yes, people need people. People need people. That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Irina and Tessie, for sharing your experience with us and share your beautiful project. And we hope we continue to hear from you and from Lisbon Whispers. And you can count on us to promote whenever you want and whenever you need. And thank you so much, everyone, for being here and for tuning in today. And we're very grateful for this incredible community. We are. And if you have anything you'd like to share with us, feel free to drop us a note or an email at lisbon@creativemornings.com. Alexis Somerville just said something really nice.
Alexis is our whisper, is our dearest whisper as well. And we're so happy that our whispers are here with us today. Well, actually, Alexis, thank you so much for being with us. Actually, today, everyone is a whisper. So everyone participating, I want to tell you something very important. Everyone is a whisper today.
Yeah.
Okay. You actually can interview some of the people here. We have some.
Well, some are already on the list. Anna's been invited. You have been invited. Beck has been invited. Emma has been invited. I mean,
we have to catch up. Now I have a new. Yeah, let's do that. And we have Petra Vash. She's also here. She was a speaker in September last year, and she's one very interesting Lisboner. And we have Sandra Jorge, who has a beautiful background. I'm actually big jealous right now. Thank you so much for tuning in. And guys, it was a beautiful event. So yeah, let's keep in touch. Wishing you a great summer. We'll be back on September 25th. So it will be our next event. So just relax. I'm going on holidays tomorrow. Woo! And just have fun and have a happy weekend and connect with Tessie and Irina through social networks, social media, and also Lisbon Whispers. Thank you so much for coming in today. Thank you. Have a great day. Okay?
Wow.
Great day. Good energy for everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Ciao.
Bye.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.